Welcome back for our Tuesday evening class. I am really excited for tonight. Our theme is about exploring and discovery of our bodies. So, we're working on the upper back, the traps, the shoulders, the lower back, and then we're going to give some love to our feet, our ankles, all by special request today. But as we kind of go through these spaces, we're going to also kind of identify areas that we can move into creative discovery of our own bodies and finding awareness on how we can take a traditional posture in yoga and transform it in a whole different way by just simply moving our ankles. So let's go ahead and just come into a comfortable seated position. Make sure that your blanket and your bolster are available next to you. And we're going to rest those hands on our knees. If you need to ground that energy tonight, you want to let the palms face down. If you need to receive some energy, you can allow your palms to face up. And we're going to close your eyes. Just take a moment here to let the mind settle in and the body relax. Allowing your body to remain still. Allow your head to move in the direction of your breath. Start to discover your body and explore your body through neck movements. At your own pace, you're just going to roll your head side to side, perhaps taking circular movements. Really, whatever feels good, just allow yourself to invite it in with your breath. And perhaps during this time of discovery, you might find a sweet spot and just go ahead and hold it there for an extra few breaths before you start to release into movement again. Okay. Bring the head back towards the center. Let's go ahead and open our eyes. We're going to start to inhale, float the arms up towards the sky. And just as you exhale, slowly release the hands behind your lower back. Start to interlace those fingers very gently. Just extend your arms and hands away from your body, lower back, lifting the elbows and the hands a little higher. Start to feel your shoulder blades squeezing in. And as you do that, you can feel the shoulder caps rolling behind your upper back and a deep expansion across the front side of your chest. And we're going to hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Gently release your hands and just let the palms touch forward, round into your back. Start to feel the release in towards the shoulder joints. We're going to do that one more time, adding into a forward fold. So we're going to inhale, lift your chest up. Let the arms fly out At shoulder width, you're going to rotate the thumbs down and then go ahead and move back, interlacing into your fingers, working into those lovely shoulders right now. Go ahead and interlace the fingers, lifting your arms away from the low back. And now this time I want you to drop your interlaced hands to the back of your mat and just start to push your chest forward, slightly gazing up at a 45-degree angle. You can close your eyes for that. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Inhale, lift your head up, lifting the arms away from the low back. Continue to do that. You're going to start to drop and round into your spine, letting the chin come towards your chest. And start to continue to lift the arms further away from your body. So you can continue to pull your hands away from the lower back, keeping your chest open for another 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Inhale, lift up. And then very gently release the hands of the palms back, touch. Then going to round into your back here. Shoulder caps are starting to feel like they're on fire. You're going to inhale, lift the hands up towards the sky. Palms are touching at this point. You're just going to look up towards his hands. Take an expansive breath into your chest. And then as you exhale, guide the hands into prayer. Interlace the fingers, push your palms forward. Start to round into your spine. And just take a moment here. I want you to close your eyes. Just going to deepen your breath up into the upper back. And release, lift your chest up. And this time, fly the arms up. Your palms are facing towards the sky at this moment. And we're just going to rock left and right, feeling out the left and right body. And once that feels good, release the hands, fingertips pointing up towards the sky, and lower down halfway, arms parallel to the floor, palms facing in. And we're still working those shoulders here. So you're going to start to rotate the thumbs down. Imagine you're pushing and swimming against air and push out halfway. Rotate the thumbs up, creating that external rotation. Look up towards the sky for 3, 2, 1. Bring your head back to center and go ahead and clap your hands together, round into your back. And then as you inhale, lengthen the spine forward, open the arms at shoulder width, rotate the thumbs down, and then push again to the air, rotating, inhale, thumbs up, exhale, close your arms together, round into your back. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, lift into the heart space, arms out, flip the palms down, thumbs down, exhale, press out. Inhale, thumbs up. Exhale, palms in, round into your back. And then very gently, just guide the hands back into the heart center. Taking any movement onto the shoulders, we're going to bring the hands onto the knees. And once again, discover your body. Start to shoulder shimmy roll. Start to roll into the spinal movements. So a lot of my practice this week and this weekend has been all about just free flow, letting myself do additional movements outside of yoga that encourages creative discovery. So you'll see moments in today's practice where we're going to break and just do something out of the ordinary, but it kind of helps you work into the spaces we mentioned earlier. So you're going to come back into that seated pose. And let's go ahead and just crawl your hands forward. Start to ease into that low back. If you want to focus more on the low back, you can just go ahead and just relax your forearms, letting the chin tuck towards the chest. If you like to add into the shoulders, the upper back, you can start to use that inhale and walk your fingertips forward. And feel your exhale starting to roll that tailbone towards the floor behind you. Working an opposite traction here. Inhale, feeling your upper body extending forward. Exhale, really actively feeling that tailbone and lower back rolling back towards the mat. Okay. Going to gaze up towards your hands. Notice how the palms are facing down. Start to flip the palms up, creating an external rotation into your shoulders. And just go ahead and fold your head down. Notice how that feels for your body. The minor adjustment to shoulder rotation. Okay, start to glide your hands back towards your knees, rolling your upper body up. This time we're going to switch it up. Typically we have a favorite seated pose where one leg is in front of the other. So this time you're going to reverse that, taking the front leg back and the back leg forward. And once you kind of switch up that stance, we're going to do the same thing again. Notice if this feels a little different for you. So for example, for me, I always like to bring my left leg forward in a seated pose. But when I come and start to rebalance my body and I actually bring my other leg forward, my right side, I notice that I feel a little tighter in the right glute, the right quad, the right buttocks, right hip. And it's just really great for us to always remember that maybe working into our most inflexible side sometimes reminds us that our bodies are not the same. Our left and right body, one of our teachers used to say that they're like siblings. They complement each other's, but sometimes they don't always get along. But all right, and release. Go ahead and climb back up. We're going to start to come into our seated pose here. So this is another great one to lead into your practice. We're going to have us start in extending your legs forward. So you're going to notice that I actually want you to micro bend your knees and to kind of encourage that movement. This is the time we're going to grab onto either a blanket or a bolster, your choice. If you have a blanket like mine, I'm going to roll up my blanket like a burrito. If you don't have a blanket, go ahead, you're going to use your pillow. And what you're going to do is wedge your blanket or your pillow underneath your knees, encouraging you to bend those knees. So once I kind of get situated, I'm not completely in full flexion of my legs here. I don't have straight legs. My knees are completely bent. And then my feet are going to remain slightly flexed. And I'm really pushing down through my heels in towards the mat. I'm going to add some movement from the upper body. So you're going to interlace these fingers. You're going to bring the hands behind your head. And then just very gently, just go ahead and keep pushing your heels into the floor. Keep the lower body slightly engaged. You want to draw your belly in towards the spine. Now start to rotate these elbows out to the left and right, and you're gonna gently just tilt the back of your head into your palms. Hold it here for 3, for 2, for 1, and lift your head up. Let the elbows come in. And all you're gonna do is just keep rounding. You're not gonna try to extend your chest forward. Just keep rounding, keep tucking the chin down to your chest. Keep rolling, rolling. Imagine you wanna roll your forehead toward your thigh. And then very gently on your inhale, start to roll your body up one vertebrae at a time. And then open the elbows, look up towards the sky. We're going to do that in 2 more sets. You're going to close the elbows in. Think of yourself going down in 5 counts. Slow, slow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to hold it here for 3, 2, 1. And then inhale, start to roll up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once your head lifts, open the elbows, lean back. Hold it here. 3, 2, 1. Let's do that one more time. Close the elbows in. Start to very gently roll your body weight down at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to hold it here for 3, 2, 1. And then very gently start to roll up at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the elbows. Release the hands up. And let's go ahead and forward fold. Completely extend your chest forward. Keeping your knees at a micro bend. And go ahead and just round into your back. Close your eyes. Let's breathe into our body in deep silence for 1 minute. Continue to take deep, calm breaths. A deep breath in, calm breath out. Okay. Start to roll your body up. At this point, your lower back and shoulders are a little bit more warmed up, so we can go ahead and move that blanket or bolster or pillow completely out to the side. And start to straighten out your legs here. Keep the legs at a good hip width. And we're going to start to go deeper into that forward fold. So from here, we're going to continue that in movement. So I want you to go ahead and bring your hands and palms together. Start to round into your back. Put the chin tucked to your chest. And then when you inhale, I want you to move the hands towards your feet, lengthen the spine. Keep reaching the hands between your legs. Keep extending forward. And then when you exhale, arms don't move. All you're doing is moving your spinal movements. Now just start to round your spine, tuck the chin to the chest, keep rolling back. And use your inhale slow counts. Keep extending forward at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. And then very gently just start to exhale. Start to round your back. Start to roll back, lean back. We're going to do 2 more of that. Really inhale, start to roll and lift and extend your chest forward. Keep reaching through those fingertips. There you go. Beautiful. Exhale, roll back, round back, lean back. We have 1 more set of that. So you can deepen into that breath in, starting to extend and lengthen your body forward, reaching between your legs, extending through the fingertips. And then exhale, draw back. Start to feel your body retract back. And as you guide the hands now towards the heart center, lift up, sit up, lengthening through the crown of your head. And you're going to bring your hands right next to your legs, like this. And same thing, this time you're going to use your elbows to bend. Inhale, so you can lengthen the chest forward. Exhale, start to bend into your elbows, round your spine. Connecting your breath here, press through the fingertips. Inhale, roll up. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen. Imagine your chest is trying to fly between your legs. And once you can't extend anymore, then you use your exhale to round into your back. Tuck your chin down to your chest. And then very gently use that next breath in to roll 1 vertebrae at a time up. And let's do that 1 more time. Start to inhale, reach and extend and lengthen forward here. Exhale, fold down. Use your breath in, start to roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. And now that we're nice and warmed up, let's go ahead and take the arms up towards the sky and go ahead, fold forward. Fold your hands between your feet and legs. Tuck the chin down to your chest. And 1 more time. Let's turn to our silence and begin to listen for the sound of your breath to calm down your mind. Okay. Start to roll and round your upper body up. Very gently, I want you to bring both feet on the mat. Keeping your knees at hip width, we'll go ahead and just lean back. Just start to rock those knees left and right to release the low back space. Once that feels good, I'm going to have you start to let the soles of your feet touch. I'm still really leaning back into my hands here. And we're coming into bound angle pose with a back bend. So I just want you to flip your fingertips towards the back of your mat. Let those shoulders really roll behind each of your upper back. And just roll the heart space forward. You can keep walking the hands a little closer towards your low back to really feel that momentum to push the chest forward. And just ever so slightly, just gaze forward and glance up. You're going to hold it here. Deepen your breath. Okay, let's go ahead and lift your head up. Start to walk your hands right towards your feet, grabbing on towards your toes. You're going to inhale, start to lengthen the spine, maybe adjust your sitting bones for a bit. And very gently from here, I want you to start to notice a difference in just bound angle discovery. I want you to just rock the chest forward and notice what happens when you just round your back. You're not really starting to deepen into this posture. Just feel the rock. Inhale, open the chest forward, squeezing your chest space between those upper arms. And then exhale, go ahead and just round back. Going to do that one more time. Inhale, go ahead and extend that chest between the biceps and upper arms. Exhale, round into your spine. Drop the chin down to your chest. And now this time, go ahead, inhale and reach and extend to hold. Keep reaching the chest forward. Notice how you are actively trying to elongate that low back. You're trying to reach the chest and forehead to the top of that mat. Continue to extend and lengthen. Hold it here. Perhaps let your hands draw away from your feet. And now use the help of your hands. You can crawl, inhale, walk the hands slightly forward. Feel yourself continuously wanting to roll the chest forward while rolling your tailbone and sitting bone, rooting them down towards the mat. Take another breath in. So you can walk the hands even 1 inch forward, even 1 centimeter forward. We're going to do that one more time. Keep lengthening. We're not going into a forward fold yet. You're just reaching forward as much as you can, finding length into the low back. And then once you can't lengthen anymore, start to feel yourself lower your chin, your forehead, your body down towards the earth. We're going to hold it here for another minute. Encourage your breath to flow and move down towards the belly, the hips, the inner thighs. Okay. Very gently start to roll and walk your hands back in. Gonna let your knees close in together. Ever so slightly, wrap your hands around your knees, tuck your chin to your chest. Okay, roll your head up. From here, I'm going to ask you to extend into your legs. And just adjust your sitting bones before we start to rebalance out that lower back. Once that's adjusted, I want you to start to bring your left foot on top of the right thigh. So, as request, our feet. So, we're going to come into the rest of our body, but for now, one of the parts of our body that we use the most is our feet. So many bones, so many muscles, so many tissues in there, and we just don't give it enough love. So, something that I've actually been doing today during my practice is I use my left arm to kind of cradle into my left calf. And I use my right hand just really starting to massage and kind of point into my toes, using my right hand to really point my toes down, creating that massaging motion around the outside of my feet, really using the heels of my hands to kind of press and roll and massage. Perhaps I'm really going to do a couple flexions and rolls into my feet. And really just letting yourself the best way and expression of self care by just nourishing and massaging your feet so that circulation starts to come back. And another good way to kind of work into your feet before we start to come into our next posture is I take all my fingers and I wedge it between my toes. And from there, I just start to squeeze my fingertips into my toes, starting to massage into my toe space, my foot space, as I start to roll into my ankles. And then we're going to relax. Go ahead and just drop that left foot on top of the right thigh. With your right hand cradling your left foot, start to use that left hand to roll the left knee down towards the mat, kind of working into the knee and hip joint. So this is very much what I mean by discovery of your body. You're before you go into those deep stretches, you're just kind of working into your body's joints and muscles, feeling it out first. And once everything feels good, go ahead and flex your right foot. We're going to inhale, let the palms touch, forward, clap. And then exhale, rotate the palms down and open out. Similar to what we did before, just adding 2 more movements. Palms forward, inhale, clap forward, extend and reach forward. There you go. Rotate the palms down now and then exhale, lift. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, extend forward, reach and lengthen. And then rotate the palms down, rotate out. Shoulders are still moving and activating your low back, same thing. Full body activation. And let's go ahead and inhale, lift up. Time to stretch it out. Exhale, fold forward. You can grab for your calves if that feels good, your ankles, or even the soles of your feet. And just start to round into your back. Deepen that breath. Okay, let's go ahead and roll your upper body up. You're going to keep your lower body where it is. And I want you to walk the right hand to the back of your mat. You're going to bring that left hand to grab onto your left foot and just start to turn and twist and look over towards the right shoulder. And then very gently, you're going to inhale to release, coming back towards the center. This time, drop the left foot to the outside of your right thigh. Let the left knee roll up. And now this time, I want you to bend the right knee, bring that right heel close to the left side of your buttocks. And from here, go ahead, wrap the right arm around your left thigh. Bring the left hand behind your back, coming in for your counter twist to the left side. You can stay here for option one. Or option two, go ahead and wedge that right elbow to your outer left leg and use it to press that outer right arm into your outer left thigh. This way it's a lot easier. You have a lot more momentum to start to turn and twist through the left. Okay, let's come back towards the center. Now at this point, I just want you to walk that right heel a little further out to the left. You're going to start to glide that left leg over to the right. So you're kind of crisscrossing this way. And just from here, without even going forward, I can feel this in my outer glute. So we're going to start to move into that hip space while really working into the low back. So start gentle. I like to grab onto my feet first and just start to roll forward. Kind of feeling where I'm feeling the stretch. And if this is really good for you and you're just feeling it, oh, okay, this is enough, go ahead and just stay here. If you want to add into perhaps the arms and the upper shoulders, starting to feel extension, go ahead and start to crawl the hands forward. Dropping your chin down to your chest. And we're going to stay here for a couple deep breaths. Okay, let's go ahead and walk those hands in. Ooh. Start to very gently reverse out. Go ahead and stretch that left leg out, thread the right foot under, lean back, and just take any movement that might feel good for your low back. I like to kind of rock my legs side to side. And then once you're ready, we're going to start to come back into that neutral seated pose, extending our legs forward, adjusting your sitting bone as you go. And let's play with our other side. So let's go ahead and bring that right foot on top of the left leg. And just use this time, we're gonna start to give our right foot some love. So like I said, I like to thread that right arm underneath my right calf and start to use my left hand to take any movements, whether it be using my palms to press the toes down, to really massage and start to work into my feet. Perhaps if it's the outside of your feet, really using the heels of your hands here to kind of massage into that space, or creating circles with your ankles, whatever feels good, whether it be pointing or flexion, circular movements. And if you'd like to add into some nurturing massages with your fingers, go ahead and bring those fingers between your toes. And as you're kind of creating those massaging motions with your feet, go ahead and use your fingertips and just really squeeze into the toes there. All right, let's go ahead and relax. Start to drop that right foot down. Use your left hand cradle onto that right foot and just use your right hand. Start to roll that right knee towards the mat. Do this a few times just to kind of like feel out your hip space, feel out your joints. Your really first time where you're actively trying to rotate your hips out by doing the motion of pressing the right knee down. Okay, let's continue to discover and explore our body, keeping that right foot on your left thigh. Flex into the left foot. Let's go ahead and begin to round your back. As you round your back, let the palms come to touch. Let the chin round down to your chest. And imagine your arms are like a sword. And when you inhale, you're launching through your sword, reaching forward, extending through the chest, lengthening your low back. And then you're going to flip your palms down. And then as you lift up, you spread your arms out wide. And then you're going to close in again, start to round into your spine, dropping the chin down to your chest. So slightly different movement the other time. So we're going to inhale, launch your sword and your fingertips forward. And then flip the palms down. Ready? Extend and lift. Start to release your shoulders, your back, round your spine. Let the palms touch. Kind of resetting your body here. And then inhale, extend, lengthen, reach. Flip the palms down. Ready? Let's go ahead and lift and open up. Flying your hands into heart center, rounding your spine, tucking the chin down to your chest. And let's go ahead and inhale, lengthen your arms up towards the sky. Time to stretch it out. Let's exhale, fold forward. So really start to come back to your breath. Easing into your low back. Begin to listen to the quality of your breath. Okay, let's start to walk your hands in. Start to roll the upper body up. And as you're here, you're going to keep the lower body where it is. You're just going to walk the left hand to the back of your mat. Let the right hand grab onto the soles of that right foot and start to twist and turn over towards your left side. Okay, let's return back to center. And from here, you're going to bring the right foot over to the left side. Go ahead and bend your left knee, letting that left heel come closer to your right buttocks. And you're going to wrap that left arm around the right leg. Placing your right hand to the back of your mat, coming into your counter twist. The option one, you can stay here. Option two, if you want to go deeper, go ahead and wedge that left elbow, pushing your outer left arm into your outer right thigh, and just start to inhale and then exhale twist. Okay, let's go ahead and release back to center. Time for another deep stretch. We're gonna move that left foot over out to the right a little bit more. Start to walk that right foot a little over to the left as much as you can, kind of crisscrossing your legs. And both your heels are not close to your legs at all. They're just extending to the left and extending to the right. And you're going to just start to grab onto your feet, kind of feel out the space. And go ahead and just so you can round forward, lean forward. Notice how that feels. So I can't speak for everyone, but at least for me, when I come into this posture, I can feel everything in my outer glute and hips. And not in the most comfortable sense, but that kind of like, oh, nice deep stretch sense. Um, so this is your option one. If you want to go deeper and you don't need your hands on your feet, go ahead and just walk your hands forward. And the further you walk out, you'll notice that you're starting to really lean and fold your body forward a little deeper. And we're going to relax here for a couple deep breaths. Continue to take that deep, long breath. Focus on the quality and the body of your breath that you're creating here. Okay, let's go ahead and release. If you're having all the feels like I am, we're going to start to move our hands back. Go ahead and just very gently let the legs kind of release out. I like to start to use this time to open my feet a little wider and go ahead and just do those windshield wipes side to side. And then just bring it back to the center. So this one is my modification to what we call single pigeon pose, but both of your knees are going to be bent. I like to use this to work into the hips and also the low back. So the way I want us to do this is I want you to bring that right foot and right shin parallel to the top of your own mat. Simultaneously, I want you to bend that left knee. See if you can create almost kind of like a 90 to 90-degree angle, and you're still facing forward to the top of your mat. Start to adjust as you need to. And the idea here is I want you to frame your hands to the outside of your mat, and you're going to start to twist and turn your torso forward towards the right leg. Imagining you're coming into that single pigeon pose, but your back leg is actually bent like mine. And we're going to just fold forward. So single pigeon pose is one of those postures, you either love it or you hate it. It might be easy for your body or hard on your joints. So when you come into this modified version, I find that it's a little bit more gentle to the low back. It's more gentle on our hip joints, but it provides a lot of room to discover and explore your body. So a good way to kind of feel out your body is take this time. I want you to walk your arms over where your chest lies over that right knee. And you'll notice that if you start to reach your left hand to that top right corner and you roll that left shoulder down, you're going to start to feel this towards the low back. And very gently, go ahead and walk the hands back to the center. Now, on this one, I want you to really lift your upper body up. You're going to do something completely different in this fold. Because your knees are bent almost at a 90-90, if I look between my legs, like I can see this nice open space right here. My idea for this second variation of forward fold into that pigeon pose is you are going to actually lean forward, letting your chest come between this open space. So you're kind of folding forward to the left corner of your mat. And you're going to start to come down onto your forearms if you can. And just notice how different this is. What are you feeling for your own body? Just close your eyes and just observe how little movements that we're making from the upper body here are just changing the dynamic stretch. Okay, let's go ahead and walk your hands back in towards the center. And very, very slowly swing your left leg forward. Keep the right foot where it is. Just swing that left leg forward at a 45-degree and go. We're going to bring that right foot into that left thigh. Go ahead and start to rebalance out your body. Left hand to the right thigh, right hand to the back of your mat, just for a few breaths of a twist here. And then go ahead and come back towards the center. And very gently, instead of starting to stretch over to the left foot, you're going to come into another forward fold, crawling your hands forward. Continue to flex into your feet. And this is what I like to call a half wide-legged forward fold. So your left leg is open nice and wide. You're not really feeling it too deep into your hips or hamstrings just yet because we're not coming into that full wide-legged seated forward fold. And I do this as my warm up, especially when I want to work into my hamstrings step by step. I don't know if you can hear Mochi, but she's playing in the other room with my family. So don't mind her if you hear her having her puppy crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and walk those hands in. Now you're going to start to pivot your chest towards the left leg. And go ahead and just start to walk your hands closer towards your feet step by step. Start to fold your chest right towards your upper thighs. Okay. Go ahead and lift the upper body up. Time to rebalance our body by working to the other side. So now this time, go ahead. You're going to bring your knees back to the center. Start to adjust. You're going to bring that left shin parallel to the top of your mat. At this point, I'm going to bend my right knee and I'm flexing my feet at all times. So I'm protecting my knee joints. I'm starting to adjust my hip space, starting to make sure I'm creating that beautiful 90 to 90-degree angle with both my knees. And then bring my hands right to the outside of my mat. Starting to really turn and twist so my chest faces forward. Let's go ahead and exhale, fold down. You can come down to the floor if that feels good. Even extending your arms to the top of your mat, whatever you like. Okay. I'm going to start to explore and discover your body on this side. You can come back onto the forearms or continue just to walk your hands. You're going to start to roll and walk over to the left corner of your mat, starting to let the chest just kind of fold over that left thigh. You can stay on the forearms. You can reach the hands forward, whatever might feel good for your own body. And just make sure that your shoulders are leveled. Okay, let's go ahead and walk the hands back to the center for a moment. And you can kind of walk your hands slightly in. This way you can start to pivot your chest over that left foot. And you can choose to stay up here if it feels good. Some of us might want to come down onto the forearms. And just make sure you're folding your chest more towards the right side and not towards the top side of your mat. Okay. Let's go ahead and rise your hands up. Really starting to take your time coming back. And you're going to just unlock that right leg, stretch it over to that top right corner of your mat. Adjust your sitting bones as you bring that left foot to your inner right thigh. And we're just going to very gently start to walk and crawl those hands to the top of your mat. Keep reaching that right leg out to the right side. Just go ahead and let's close your eyes. Take 5 deep, slow breaths. Okay, let's go ahead and walk those hands back in. Start to adjust your hips and your chest so it's facing that right foot. And let's go ahead and come back down, starting to crawl your hands forward, really letting that belly and chest align to your right leg. Close your eyes. Just quiet your mind by listening to your breath. Okay, let's go ahead and rise that upper body up. Go ahead, start to take that left leg out. Really starting to work into our last pose here, our wide-legged forward fold. So with this one, I just wanted to do 2 things. We're going to do this twice. We're going to do one to what we typically see wide-legged forward fold as, which is this. Most people either look like this and this is as far as they can get because they're just completely rounding their spine. They might not be comfortable for those with tight hips. For some people, they really enjoy it and they start to crawl forward. So find your fullest expression in that wide-legged forward fold right now. And all I want you to do is as you're there, I'm going to give you about a good 30 seconds to 45 seconds to just work into that posture. And then we're going to explore how you can modify this posture to ease for your low back. Go ahead and close your eyes and let's breathe. Start to rise your upper body up. Close your legs for a moment just to kind of release your lower back and bend into your knees. And so, the second variation, before I start to really ease you down into complete rest, we're going to use our pillows. And um, this is what I kind of find helps me a lot when I want to ease into my low back. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my pillow to where I actually was sitting before, like so. And I'm going to sit on top of my pillow. I'm elevating my hips at this point. So you'll notice for some people during our yoga classes and class before, they look like this, their knees are high like this, and they hate seated poses because their knees are so high, it's uncomfortable for their hips. So my recommendation for that has always been elevating your hips with a block or even a pillow. And on days when I'm having like lower back pain, for example, I really don't like to do my full extension expression of that wide legged forward fold. So I tend to elevate my hips a little bit more, really pushing my body weight back towards the backside of my pillow or bolster. And then when you start to round down, that elevation really helps you kind of nurture into that low back a little bit more. So, if a great way in your home practice is that you can always add and stack on those pillows and blankets and bolsters. And when you lean forward, it's just because you have an elevation. And so when you fold down, it's a lot easier to lower your lower back space. So we're going to stay here for another good 5 to 7 deep breaths. Okay. And start to rise your hands up. Go ahead and bend your knees. You're just going to very gently just scooch yourself off that pillow or bolster. And we're going to start to set up for that Shavasana. So we're going to do it from a side view. So imagine this is the front side of my mat and that's my back side. I'm going to take my pillow at a vertical length like this to the back side of my mat. What I want to do is let us sit right to my low back like this. The other thing I'm going to do is take my blanket. I'm going to roll it up back into that burrito. And I'm going to wedge this back underneath my knees like we did earlier in this class. And what I'm going to do is just let my knees kind of open up in that bound angle, maybe letting my heels rest a little further away from my hips. So gentle, nice restorative opening to the hips. And continue to adjust your pillow as you need to. And we're going to recline down. It's a really nice way to start to reverse all those forward folds with that nice supported back bend. Great way to open your heart space, great way to open the hips. And we're just going to let the arms kind of open out, palms up. And just close your eyes. Back to your breath. calm, deep breath in. A slow, deep breath out. Calm, deep breath in. A slow, deep breath out. A calm, deep breath in. A slow, deep breath out. Breath by breath, the thoughts of your mind release. The weight of your body surrenders to the earth below. Feeling the weight of your body leaving you, deeply calm, deeply relaxed. Allow your body to remain still and your mind calm, and discover once again your mind and body as we bring one breath forward, one movement back. Start with your hands and move into those fingertips. Go ahead and just close your knees together, stretching your legs forward, and just move into your toes. Let's roll that left arm behind your head, followed by your right arm. And then bring both your feet onto the mat, bending your knees here. I'm just going to very gently lift the hips, move it over to the left. Start to roll the right side of your body on your blanket, bolster, or pillow. Just come into that fetal pose, closing your eyes. With your eyes closed, take your time and gently meet me back in that seated pose. Resting your hands on your knees. Just bring your palms together, hands into your heart in prayer. Bow your head. Sometimes in life, we don't need to follow a linear path, a one state of mind of how things should be, how things should be done and be thought. Very much like tonight's practice, we encourage our mind, our body, and our life to be a place of cultivating creativity, discovery, and above all else, the true way of expression and exploring who we are, and what we do by simply knowing that there are not just a linear path, but different forks that branch out in the path ahead of you. So while we lean into this new week, I encourage you to really give time to yourself to discover, explore, and cultivate and spark that inner creativity of yours to bring new life. With that said, let's end this practice with one word. We honor our inner light to the light of others. Bring your head up. Namaste. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that. I am going to stay on for a few minutes so we can chat. If you have any questions, this is a great time to use me and ask me anything you want.